Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live today. Jason Logan, Jason Galvin, Life is a Drag. Look at us go, Jason. I like our little Life was a Drag with Jason and Jason. That's a pretty cool little graphic right there, huh?
Look, I spent my hard-earned...
Oh, now I can't hear you.
What?
What just happened, man?
You are
Jason,
really
what
struggling.
happened, man? Hold on, let's do this.
The best part is I can hear you, which means
and let's
that
try it
everybody
again.
else can hear you, and you just can't hear me. So I can sit here and literally make fun of you, and you have no idea what I'm saying right now.
Testing.
No idea in the world. Yeah, we hear you.
Huh. Oh, well.
We can hear you.
Figure out life.
Yeah.
How about now?
Imagine.
Hey. Can Jason
Imagine all the...
Can Jason hear me?
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
yes,
my
we
God.
can hear
We're
you.
going to have to figure this out, Jason Galvin. Everything worked 5 seconds ago, and then it didn't work.
I think starting next week, take over the technical
do that. Let me do that again.
Side of this show.
How about now, JC? Can you hear me?
We could hear you the entire time. How about that?
Can you hear me, Jason?
Yes.
All right, I can kind of hear you too. I don't know why. Everything's crazy on this stupid thing.
You know that, right?
What? There we go. So much better. Now I can hear you. Let's just start the show all over again. Please hold. Hey, everybody, we're back. Hey, technical difficulties starting our show. This is what happens when you come back from Vegas. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Are you actually up and running now?
I think so. Yeah, I can hear you. Everything's still live. Let's see what happens in the comments. Selena is there. Hi,
the best
Selena.
part.
Can you hear us okay?
I promise you, everybody out there could hear that entire exchange.
Of us messing around and restarting the show?
Well, we weren't messing around. I was sitting there dumping the whole time.
Oh, great. Thanks, man.
The only person whose stuff wasn't working was your headphones. I could hear you.
I know.
They could hear both of us. And yeah, you know, I made sly comments like, we actually pay you to do this, and I'm going to start and I'm going to start taking over the technical producing side of this show because you can't handle it, you know.
Would you please? Everything worked, and then I'd switch something, and then all of a sudden it didn't work, and I'm like, "What the heck? We're live!"
Yeah,
this is what
happens.
This is why we shouldn't do anything live. But anyways, yeah. Jason, hi. How are you? Have you recovered from Vegas yet?
Yeah, finally. Took a few days.
Dude, I had to. It's definitely taken me a couple days. I'm kind of back up and running now. But you know, it's just what happens. It's Vegas.
The struggle was real. Vegas has that effect on people.
Yeah, I liken it to the flu, the Vegas flu. That's what I had going on this week. But yeah, so yeah, oh God, Seema, forget that. Trying to be out there that long, it's too much. I'm trying to fix my hat. I don't know. I'm in a weird angle today. So Jason, we had a good time in Vegas. Did we or did we not?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it was a good time. We worked, we played, we had fun. Let's talk about the work aspect. We had to be out in the sun. Or you and I definitely had to be out in the sun a lot.
Yeah, you melted. It was not good.
Well, my computer melted during pre-race. Literally,
coming to the stage now. You're number one qualifier. J-Lo, play the music. J-Lo, play the music. J-Lo, play the music.
By the time I totally missed all of Funny Car because I went into the booth and was playing off the iPad. That was not a good scene. And Evan grabbed my computer and stuck it in a refrigerator so we could get through the rest of the day.
Did he really? This is what happened. I was stuck behind the stage. That's funny.
Yeah, he ran it into the media center and into the press room, and there's a big refrigerator in there, and he stuck it in there so we could get through the rest of the day. So that was
incredible. Yeah. I didn't even know that part of the story. Look at that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that was that. Let's go. I guess we could don't really have to go through all of the weekend. Let's start at pre-race. We were 0 for 3 on anthem singers, right?
Finally,
finally had somebody that could actually play the anthem.
I had somebody come up and like, the only thing was it was just really long. And I was like, it might have been really long, but it didn't suck.
It was good. It was finally good.
It was, so far we've had, we literally had somebody reading the anthem off their phone and still got the words wrong at one of the events. Their phone was at the base of their feet, and if you go back and watch, they sing the entire anthem like this. And it's not because they were praying, I promise you. It's because they were staring at the lyric on their phone, and they got it wrong anyways. Who's your favorite anthem singer, Selena?
Selena is a fantastic singer. Yeah.
My gosh, yeah, I knew that. She sang the anthem in Vegas last time I did opening ceremonies there, now that I think about it. So.
Yeah, Selena can actually sing, so that's a good thing.
Very well.
Yeah, Selena, here, hold on. Let's throw her up here. That's what she says. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Selena, you can sing very well, and we need you at some of these races. So why don't you show up? But yeah, so we had a violinist.
Look, Selena, look, I have not been drinking today. Okay, she said, Jesus, Galvin. Yes, I have not been drinking today. Okay, and after the weekend in Vegas, I probably should be, and so. Sorry. Yeah,
it was good. But so we had a good anthem sing, or a young lady playing the violin. And leading up to that, I'm always, I looked at our boss and I'm like, because he's not the one that gets the anthem singers. Right. It's the track. So I look at him, I go, a violinist? Really? She's 13. I go, she better be good. And I walked up to her mom and I told Hannah, I go, Hannah, I'm going to talk. I gotta make sure this girl's good. And I looked at her mom. I go, Mom, does she know what she's doing? Is she okay at this? Can she actually play that violin? She's only the best one in the entire state of Nevada. I'm like, we're gonna have to see. And sure enough, after she knocked it out of the park, Evan goes, put that in your pipe and smoke it, or whatever he said. He said something like that. And I was like, okay, you got one, finally.
Yeah. No, she was good. She was real good. I was impressed.
Yeah, she was good. So that was that. And then we proceeded on to drag racing, four wide style. And yes. How do you come down on 4Wides? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Where do you fall?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, do I want to race 4Wide every weekend? No. Is it confusing at times? Sure. It's a spectacle. It's fun. Like, every sport on planet Earth has events that do things a little different. Right? Like every sport, like whether it's your all-star, like we don't have a true all-star race. We've got the call-outs and stuff, right? But your all-star race, or like baseball's a great example. They started doing that Field of Dreams game 2 years ago. And like, do I want to play every MLB game in the middle of a cornfield with 280-foot walls?
Right.
No. But also, has it been cool to watch? Yeah, you bet your ass it has been.
Yeah.
So, look, 4Wides are fine. We run them back to back. We get them out of the way for all of you, anti-4Widers. Somebody today said the 4Wide drag racing was killing the sport, which do you have that picture I sent you during opening ceremony?
Yes, I do. Hold on.
Yeah. I just want to show people here. Look, 4Wide drag racing is definitely killing the sport. Look, that would be the grandstands during the national anthem on Sunday. By the way, they look like that all day on Saturday too. So I would concur. If your definition of killing the sport is packing one of our biggest grandstands, then yeah, you're right. We're in real trouble.
Yeah, we're in real trouble with that and I like Vegas because it's a huge international crowd. People, and we had so many first timers out there. Every time we played a game,
like every person we stuck a mic in front of.
Right.
I've never been
here before. All I know is John Force. Okay. Do you know his daughter's name? No, don't know her name.
No, the person who played the trivia game didn't even know Brittany Force, which is incredible. Actually, I thought it was great.
Yeah. But it's great because, listen, if this is in the person's face. Yeah, right. If this is how we expose people to drag racing, to watch 4 cars hook up at one time is pretty incredible. Whether you like the racing or not, it's pretty incredible. And for us, it offered us more time in Las Vegas because we really just bust in and out of there and we knock out rounds pretty quick. So that's awesome.
Yeah, best part about a 4Wide race from a working behind the curtain, right? Working standpoint is
right.
I mean, we're done at 5 o'clock every day. Sure, it'll be the same way because things just click. I mean, the same amount of cars, right? Same amount of pro cars generally, give or take a few. But I mean, we breeze through those days. Now I say that and
Right. Yeah. Somebody better knock on something.
Times.
So in Charlotte, Charlotte on Friday night we race. We do like I think it's a 3 o'clock first round and then like a 7 o'clock second round.
Yeah, it's under the lights. It's cool.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. They'll have fireballs, all kinds of crap going on there. So if you're on .tv, you definitely should watch second round on Friday night because it's a very big spectacle. So, but anyways, let's go back to Vegas. So one could think, everybody's like, oh, it's a little difficult and all that kind of fun stuff. Semifinals of Top Fuel. We had a little controversy going on there. Sean Langdon timed out because he was upset. Or Josh Hart, he says everybody just, he comes in slow and he was going to make a point. And so that was kind of fun. He owned up to his mistake, which is cool for Sean Langdon. And, he's good. But this week on Twitter, I saw this, which was fun. And I guess it's our first real controversy drama of the season. Check this out from Drag Racing Central. Here it goes. I'll read it out loud. This is from Alex Laughlin, funny car driver. Yeah, he drives funny car. He used to run Pro Stock, Fuel,
and
all
Top
kinds
Fuel.
Yeah. So he says the longer the car runs with the fuel pumps all the way on, the more fuel it burns, obviously, and the lighter the front end of the car gets. This could impact the performance of car based on weights and balances as the car leaving the starting line. That said, if you have 7 seconds to stage the car, then you have the full amount of time as you please. If it's legal in the rule book, it's legal in the rule book. Etiquette is one thing, but this is a competitive sport, and someone gets beat from a result that's within the rule book. Sorry about ya. We aren't out there to make friends. We're out there to win. Disclaimer, I haven't read this story, but responding to comments about taking a few seconds longer and drivers crying about it. And then down below, Sean Langdon writes, please provide more insight on your expertise. Okay, so that's that. That was Alex Laughlin responding to that fun stuff. Okay, so I saw that and I'm going, man, that's pretty, I like that. I go, even though Sean had, fessed up to it, he owned it. But this is what Sean puts out on Twitter right after that. Sean Langdon. Hey, Alex Laughlin. I never cried. I accepted 100% full responsibility for what I did and apologized to other teams. And they understood what happened with Josh in the quad. Torrance knew going into round after his first round with him. But since you are a racing expert and a social media warrior, I'll let you continue to run your mouth and get your social media credit up to par since you definitely need the attention. I kept my mouth shut and you couldn't cut a light in Pro Stock with Gray and Elite and blamed everything under the sun. Then they put other people in the car and performed just fine. Aren't you the guy who asked other drivers to quit messing with you on the starting line because it messes you up? If you spent half as much time on the practice tree as you do running your mouth on social media, you might do something. Stuff happens. I messed up and I admitted it. Get over it. I am praying for you.
You really say praying for you?
He's praying for him.
God, I love Sean.
He does not mess around. And that's
my favorite part about Sean. No,
first off, Sean, in his top end interview, called Josh Hart right out. He was like, listen, he hung us up there. He goes, I like the guy. But he hangs everybody out to dry. He takes forever to stage, and he goes. And then I saw later on that he was trying to prove a point, and obviously that did not work out in Sean's favor. But I love the thank you, Drag Racing Central, for posting all that stuff because that's good little drama going into the Charlotte races where we're gonna have to do this all over again. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. First off, I love Sean's honesty. That's like my favorite part about him. And credit to Sean. Not only did he take credit for it, but also, I don't know how many people realize this, right? We've got a lot of drivers in the sport. Let's call a spade, right? A lot of drivers in the sport who, pay their own way or whatnot, their family owns the team or the sponsor behind it or whatever reason it is. Sean's one of those few guys who doesn't. Like, Sean's a paid driver. He's got sponsors to answer to and a race team and a manufacturer and that still doesn't keep him from speaking his mind and the truth, which I think is refreshing. I think
it's fantastic.
And I honestly don't remember enough about Alex Laughlin's lights and Pro Stock.
I don't either.
But Sean obviously has a world's more experienced in nitro car than Alex does, and also street cred, right? I think if you won a world championship, first off, if you win back-to-back world titles in Super Comp, here's the long list of people who have done that: Sean Langdon, Christopher Dodd,
and we're done.
I mean, so there might be one I'm missing in there, but still, the point is, like, Sean's a badass driver.
He's one.
And look, am I going to tell you that I've never gone up there? Like, and I'm not a badass driver, right? With zero street cred, but like, am I going to tell you that that I've never gone up there in a super car and like played games with my opponent based on what I knew? No, of course, like that's part of the game. So, look, it is what it is. Josh is entitled to taking all 7 seconds if he wants, absolutely. Whether he's doing it intentionally or not, I don't know. Is this any different than Camry double bulbing Christian? I don't think so. Like, yeah, and like put the Aaron Williams comment up. Like, there's no rule as to who has to stage first either, right? Like, I mean, theoretically, look, I hope the two of them roll into Chicago and race round 1, because I could seriously see a situation where like Sean and Josh pre-stage and both like 20 seconds later we're sitting there like that could, to me, that could be entertaining. But there's no rule against it. Like, everybody do your own thing. It's funny. I was talking to Neil Strasbaugh after, in the winner's circle. He's down there with Tony and Hagen and all of them. And he talked about Leah, and he's like, we talked a lot about staging and Leah, and this translated over to Tony in the A fuel car. Just do your thing. You focus on you. You have one bulb. You look at it. You go through your process. I'm pre-staged. Okay, I'm staged. And the other 4 or 3 cars, it's up to them. If they're not in, that's their problem. If they're late, that's their problem. If you're the last one in, you better be ready, and some drivers, that's their plan. Right. And some drivers are Sean, and Sean is going to go up there and look for every possible, advantage he can find. And you know what? When you come from a series, right, this is where I think having the history in sportsman racing that Sean does, when you come from a series where races are won and lost by the 10,000th of a second, every other run, basically, then you need to find every tiny advantage you can. And that's part of what has made Sean a probably borderline or eventual one-day Hall of Fame drag racer. It's what it is. It sure made some great drama, made for great TV. My favorite part of it, Steve Torrance gets out of the car and he's throwing stuff. And Amanda's like,
dude, you're in.
Amanda's like, what's wrong with you, Steve? Steve's like, my light sucked, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, that was definitely, who should be pissed right now. Steve Torrance is the one who's throwing stuff.
He just needed to get on TV and throw something. He had, he's like, something's going on here. What happened?
He's right. His light did suck. You know who else's light sucked? Josh Hart's and Mike Salinas's, because nobody was ready for the tree to activate. Everybody's I think Mike Salinas was like 165, and he was easily the best light there. So
let's see what Aaron has to say again. Langdon first head to should be all right. Good call. I'm not reading all that. Aaron knows way too much about what's going on in the world. Good job, Aaron. We're proud of you for knowing all that stuff. But so that was good. So that was the big drama in the race day. But we had Matt Hagen winning his 3rd out of the 4 races. So he's obviously, looking to be champion. I mean, he's going to have this wrapped up by Chicago, probably. Keeps going.
They're on what we would call a heater.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you call it in Vegas. And then who won, 00 Dallas Glenn won in Pro Stock.
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back. That was cool. Yeah. I got yelled at and then Antron won in Top Fuel.
What? Tell me about getting yelled at.
So in the media room, I saw Antron. I was like, I'm going to go up and congratulate him. Well, Dallas was getting interviewed by Joe Costello after the race, and we were right behind the curtain. And I was and Sadie was videoing. Sadie is Dallas's wife, and she's a big social media person out there. She covers a lot of people, and so I guess I was in Sadie's shot. And Antron and I were talking, and Sadie texts me like immediately as she's filming. She goes, "Hey, beautiful, get out of my shot." I looked up, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
I love the subtleness of Sadie.
Yeah, and of course, I can't get out of the shot immediately. I have to go, "Ooh, who, me? Me? I'm in your shot." I apologize. She's
I
like,
gotta look
you
at
and
that video
Antoine.
now.
She
It's
goes,
gotta be out
you
there
and
somewhere.
yeah, it's got to be. I go, you and Antoine. She goes, you and Antoine, shut up. So, but that was that. That was good, and all of that stuff was awesome. And then, of course, history. I mean, let's add another series win. Different racing win for Tony Stewart.
Who?
Tony Stewart. Smoke.
He's a Supercross guy, right?
No, he used to be in
No.
NASCAR.
Oh,
That guy.
So the cars with the wings on the front and back.
Yeah,
They go left and
exactly.
right?
He's driven those things before.
That's true. He has. He's won everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
that
won
was
it
a
pretty
matter
much.
of time. I'll tell you what I thought was I think the most surprising part actually was how quickly that car came around, because that's a new car. Tony's talked about that a lot. They went to the final in Vegas last year. They lost by two 10,000s to Madison Payne, and I think everybody's like, oh, of course they're back in Vegas. Of course they won. Like they, should have won last year maybe, or right there. And it's like, so though that was a totally car. Like, that car Mike Coughlin was driving all weekend. Like that's a new car for Tony, and it has been a dog. I think started like I'm not telling you anything that Richie and Rich aren't going to tell you. I mean, Richie and I have talked about it. Like they have struggled with that car out of the gate, and I don't know what happened last weekend, but man, did it turn a corner in a big way. And I got to tell you, I think if that thing's going to run that well, the rest of the season, I think the A fuel class is on notice for sure.
Can you imagine?
Look, here's the thing about Tony, right? Okay, here's a great inside baseball. Maybe I don't think it matters. I give this away, right? But like Neil Strasbaugh and I were talking. He said, "You know, Tony Stewart never uses a practice tree." I went, what? He goes, Leah's all the time practicing. Tony's never used it. I said, what? Why not? Like everybody uses a practice tree because his theory is if it's not broke, like sometimes you can get in your head too much. You can there's things as I've been guilty of that before with the Super Comp car where I've over practiced. I have a portable practice tree, so they're sitting right here next to me, and I've been sitting in the lanes, and for whatever it's taken forever, whatever, and I've over practiced. Or I'm gonna keep practicing until I hit light X, and like that doesn't help you at all. If anything, it like throws you off. And so that's like Tony he's like my lights are good, and he's right. They're like consistently amongst the best reaction times of anybody in an injected car. So I thought that was pretty fascinating, like how naturally he's picked it up. But then again, I guess if you've won in every race car you've ever been in your life, I probably shouldn't be too surprised. So
well, and the everybody stuck around for that. I mean, because we run the finals right before the Luke Soil finals right before we run the pro finals. So people were actually in the stands, like, okay, I want to see this guy actually win.
I think those the most people I've ever seen in the stands for a final round of an alcohol race ever, unless it's literally been like we're in a rain delay deal where they're up in pro stocks in the water box. Like it was mighty impressive. Yeah,
and that was one of the biggest cheers of the weekend when he won. So that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but that was it. That was basically your race weekend. Thank you guys very much for coming on the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We've only spent 23 minutes. That's the most we've ever talked about drag racing on this show. But it was a good weekend.
Well, in fairness, we spent like 8 minutes trying to get your mic working.
Well, that's true.
Or your earbuds.
In fairness.
Yeah. We can talk about Vegas now. Can we talk about Vegas?
Yeah. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Of what we really did. All right. So we talked about where we were going to eat. And Thursday night, Jason Galvin said, we are going to this place no matter what. He had made reservations. And he's like, dude, we're going to Super Frico at the Cosmo. And Joe and I, we get there. And we're like walking in there and we're like, oh, this is where Bo and Randy Lynn had their wedding.
And I was like, what?
We're like, oh, we've been here before. We were here in November. But we didn't have the full experience that we had at this place. Now, Jason, the big showstopper of that entire dinner was this.
Yes, look at it, J-Lo.
You can't really tell what it is, but I'm going to explain it to you. It's that big round white thing with like chili oil on it. That is mozzarella, and they make that table side. And oh my God, was that amazing, Jason? It was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was. I think it's like $85, and I would pay that every time.
Yeah, and it's made for four. It's made for four people, but guess what?
It's a lot.
There were three of us, and we took it down, and it was perfectly fine. And we had no problem spending $85 for something that was that good.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal.
So if you've never been to Super Frico, it's like a Italian fusion kind of thing, and we ordered that. We ordered a chicken parm and a mortadella and pistachio, I believe,
Yes.
or no, something pizza.
That's right, mortadella pistachio pizza, which was also phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is there's little sideshow people running around doing all kinds of fun little acts. And they've got a DJ in there. There were ballerinas that would do ballet dancing around, and then all of a sudden they'd meet up someplace and they'd fight,
killing each other. I was like, what is happening right here?
And we're like, what is going on?
I'm like, oh wow, that's cute. They're like doing ballet, and then all of a sudden, whack! I was like, what? There's like this.
Yeah, were there like fur animals, like fur characters running around? There are people in mascots, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but the one thing. Yeah, the one thing that Tony Schumacher and his whole group were like right next to us. Yeah. They were all having fun in there. But the one thing, after Tony and Summer and those guys left, some other people took their spots, and I was shocked. I got to be honest with you. This was one of the more shocking things I've ever seen in Vegas. And you probably have other people in the comments will probably have insight on this. But these two amazing, 11s walked in, sat down, and two guys that were worse looking than me and Jason sat down with them. And I was like, what is going on here? What's happening?
I think I leaned across the table and I said, I think I said something like under my breath. I was like, guys, this is Joe and Jason, like, I'm like, guys, just want you to know, right? This is what happens when you are the two richest guys in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, it was like, who are these people?
Right.
Yeah, Drink Hard Racing. You were talking about this in Bradenton back in March.
I love it. Set up. It was great. It was great.
Yes, I call it working or not working. Selena, you call it walking or working. I get it, but that's what it was. But I literally could not take my focus off one girl because I was like, she is stunning. I go, I cannot.
We're talking about her like 3 days later.
Oh my God, she was absolutely breathtaking. I'm like, there's no way on the God's green earth does that woman date, marry, associate with that guy. There's no way.
Yeah, it's Vegas, man.
It is Vegas. Like that. You see that stuff all the time, and and I just hadn't seen it in a while. And I was like, I was just like, those are the two luckiest guys on the planet, or they are spending a lot of money. So,
hey, great meal. By the way, we talked about $85 mozzarella, but like the entire meal was like $220. Like it was,
wasn't bad.
Drank. Like we had several drinks and like full meals. It was really actually not bad at all.
Yeah.
You left out the part where Joe Costello is literally like a celebrity in there, by the way.
Oh, like, yeah. Listen,
like literally a couple, like you guys dropped the wedding to a couple people. Like, wait, you guys were at the wedding that shut this place down. That's never happened, but they don't close this place for anybody. And Joe was like, yeah, I was the officiant. And they were like, it was like an all call. Guys, come here. This is the guy who married the couple.
Yeah, he was definitely a celebrity in that place. Made things happen. But here's the deal. Mr. Shutterbug, Joe Costello, who takes 1 million pictures, his phone died. So he's like, Jason, you got to take pictures of this stuff. And I was like, as we're walking back to the hotel, we walked past the Bellagio fountains. He's like, you got to take a picture of that. Yeah, I go, Joe, really? Why do I need to take a picture of that? Everyone's seen it before. Right. He goes, no, man, you got it. It's Vegas. It's iconic. Joe's very funny because he loves Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
I used to love Vegas. I really like Vegas right now, but I used to love Vegas.
You love Vegas right up until your alarm off Monday morning.
Oh, no, you were my alarm on Monday morning. But
that's my point.
Yeah, right. So that was Thursday night, and then what was it?
And we went to Ghost Donkey. We went and had a drink with the Scrappers guys at the tequila bar. Yeah, I have a picture of that. I should send it to you. That's my.
What was the name of that drink we had there?
Oh, the Mezcal Old Fashioned. It's like the greatest drink in America.
God. Yeah, that was actually a really good drink. Very strong. Very strong. Yeah, it was a room that should only hold 20. Yeah, it's a room that should only hold 23 people, but there was at least 65 in that room.
I've never seen so many people in there before.
And
But it was great.
Yeah, it's one of those hidden spots you have to find in the Cosmo. And if you don't know where it is, you're never going to find it. But
never.
So then
tell us about your Friday.
So Friday night, I had girls' night out with let me see if I can find a picture with a bunch of these people.
News right now. We're making an announcement. Breaking news. Jason Logan is transitioning.
Hey, hold on a second. Don't say that out loud. You know why? Because drinking Bud Light. There's a Bud Light here. Some people might go down that road.
Of course you're drinking Bud Light.
So there was a bunch of people. There's Randy Lynn. There's me. There's Dion in the back. And Jenna, it was her birthday. And she's engaged to Chase Freeman.
You left 5 time out of the picture or what? Or did she take it?
Oh no, 5 times 5. No, she wasn't in that picture. I'm trying to find the one the one of everybody just didn't happen. But we went to see this nice young lady, Katy Perry. Look at
heard of her.
Yeah, she was there. Randy Lynn said, "Hey, we're all going to see Katy."
Toilet?
Yeah, she was in a big toilet. Like she had like big things up on stage. It was like the show was. I guess I know, right? It's Katy Perry, dude. It was called Play. And that was the screen right there. And she was like in her house playing. And then, you're out there in her, room with all this stuff. And then she was in a big toilet. She was in her bathroom. And then, but then, as the night progressed, we went to hey, there's me and Randy Lynn. Huh, this is great. Hey, everybody's having a great time. This is like at the beginning of the night. And then all of a sudden, there's Courtney and Randy Lynn. We're all happy. The show hasn't started yet. Well, then all of a sudden, yeah, Courtney and I started drinking. They were selling those big cups right there, $34 full of champagne. So that was like I wasn't drinking champagne. That was not happening. But we went and so going back to the story about having those two women with those 2 guys, we walk up to the bar, Randy Lynn and I, and she's like, "What do you want?" I go, "I got it, Randy Lynn. You don't have to pay for it." She goes, "No, just it's easier. What do you want?" I go, "I'll just take a beer." So she goes, "I'll have a beer and I'll have this and I'll have that." Da, 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 da. And so the guy looks at me and I go, "Yeah." I go, "She's buying." I go, "It's good to have a sugar mama like this." You know what I'm saying? She takes care of me the whole time. And the look I had at those 2 girls at Super Frico was the same look that this bartender had when I said this about me and Randy Lynn. And he was just like, "Okay, well, I hope you have a fantastic night. Good for you." And I was like, "Thank you very much." So that turned into me and Courtney drinking, everybody drinking and having a good time. And then
which then turned into how did your there's doubly. Which turned into how did your night end?
Well, hold on. This is what I'm saying. We're taking pictures, and Courtney's had about 9 of those champagnes. I've had about 27 beers. And then Erica was like, "What?"
Okay.
We're looking at certain things there from Erica. And then this is how my night started to take a turn for the worst. Is when I just start.
Jesus Christ. I'm seeing this for the first time.
That's how that's when things started to go bad there, Jason. You know what I'm saying? I'm burying my soul in my chest 5 times. We were at the bar and the show's going on and you can hear it. I go, "Erica, check this out." I start taking my clothes off. So that's where it ended up. And then I'm like, "Okay, cool. So it's time to go." I don't know what time it is time to go. I don't know. After that moment right there, Jason, and we went outside after the show and we were all, "Oh my God, that was so great. It was so great." And then all the elite guys start showing up. I don't really know what happened after that because I had to text Courtney the next day. I go, "Hey, I don't know how I got home." She goes, "I had to put the address in your phone so the Uber guy could get you back to your hotel." I go, "Oh, cool," because I don't know. And I had a canceled Uber ride on my phone. That later that day, I tipped the Uber driver I want to say 6:00 the night, in the afternoon. It was a mess.
From the canceled ride. Idea. Yeah,
I don't know how I made it back. I don't know how I made it back to the hotel room, but
what time did you guys leave the concert, Jason?
It was 10:30-ish. I don't know.
So the last thing Jason Logan remembers is 10:30.
Yeah.
And the first thing I remember Saturday morning was opening my eyes at 2:57 a.m. to the sound of my hotel room door opening. And me looking at the clock and going, wow, Jason's just getting back. Must have been a good night, right? And I put my head back into the pillow and closed my eyes. And I don't know, enough time later that I woke up again. This time I woke up to a hand. Yeah, Parks would. I want to see the tattoo, Parks. Or maybe I don't actually. So I woke up to a hand rubbing up my leg. And my immediate thought was, Jason brought a lady back and she's confused. So I rolled over and opened my eyes just in time to get hit by a heavy object in the head and then have Jason Logan crawl on top of me.
And that's when I kind of woke up for 5 seconds. And
I was like,
this is not my bed.
Jason, what the hell are you doing? He went, oh, I'm in the wrong bed, damn it. Up to his bed he went. The next morning he woke up, couldn't find his phone. I said, I think I have a pretty good idea. And it was on the floor in between the nightstand and my bed. Yeah. Yeah. And what happened in those 4 hours is an excellent question.
I don't know.
An answer to.
I have no idea. There might be security footage someplace. Yeah, exactly. These guys, Drink Hard Racing, they want to know what happened. Yeah. There's unaccounted. Listen, I might have gone
more
into
than
space.
4 unaccounted hours in the history of Drink Hard Racing that we
yes.
investigating as well. So.
Right. They know the pain that I was in the next day. And the next day, I just wanted to be in my bed.
Oh my God.
In the freezing cold room. I just needed someone to hold me. And I was like, I needed someone to pat me on the head saying, Jason, it'll be okay. Everything's all right.
So what Logan doesn't know is I went on Saturday to do a new feature we're doing at the Nitro stage in between round. I was in the booth on Saturday. And so I walk over there and hadn't seen, much of my boss that day. And Evan Jonat's over there and Hannah's over there. And after we're done with the bid, I looked at Evan. I said, hey, Evan, I need to report an HR violation. And he spins around like all serious. What? I'm like, yeah, dude, serious. We had a real problem last night. Said, okay. It's okay. Hannah can hear it. Like, I need emotional support on this one. And Hannah walks all over concerned. And then I told him that story.
Oh, my God.
And I haven't seen Evan laugh that hard in a long time.
Dude, let me tell you, when he saw me walk into the tower, he just shook his head. And this was before you had seen him. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I saw Katy Perry last night. I don't really know what happened after the show.
Yeah, no, it was good.
That was a good time. And then
so Saturday ended up being pretty tame.
Very
Saturday
tame.
evening. Yeah, but let's talk about Sunday.
Do I have any pictures? Oh yeah, Sunday. That's where we got more pictures. So Sunday.
Let's move on to
Sunday.
Saturday, look. Friday we went to Cleaver, me and Joe and Hannah, business associate of ours. And Saturday we went. The three of us met at Tacos in the year. I went and actually before I went to Tacos Beer, I went and had a very nice glass of scotch at the racetrack. It was fantastic. Nice. Had a nice cigar. It was good. Saturday was nice and tame, which led to Sunday. Do tell.
Sunday we went to was it Golden Tiki after the race?
Is that what it's called?
I think it's called Golden Tiki. It's some tiki bar in Chinatown, which I guess every city has a Chinatown. I didn't think Vegas had one, but that's okay. But it was in this strip mall that had everything you would come to think a Chinatown would have. And
a tiki bar.
Yeah, they had the tiki bar there. And there was a bunch of TV people there. Brian Loans, producer Pete, who's been on our show. Amanda Busick was there. That's always fun to see Amanda. And then Joe, Jason, and I roll in. Hannah showed up. Hannah wearing a dress, which I'm sure makes her feel very ladylike because she never wears a dress at the track, which is, kind of weird if you would wear a dress there. But everybody looked great. Everybody was dressed all nice. I know. I'm just saying. I was just like, oh, there's Hannah in a dress. She looks very lovely in a dress. Okay, great. So we were there, and they have tiki drinks. And Jason said, which ones make fire? And this was the one Jason got. Fire!
No, not even. This isn't even the drink. This is the shot. This is the round of shot. That's Joe in the background. That's why I loved this picture. That's Joe in the background doing a dance. I ordered a drink that came out on fire, but then Joe decided because they had shots that are on fire, he was going to order a round for.
Right.
I think this is where our night went bad, because like that's a sugar cube, and I realized the next day I was like, man, I didn't think I drank that much, and I was mostly after the tiki bar drinking stuff I normally drink, and I feel like I'm got kicked in the nuts by a horse or something. And then I thought back to this.
Yeah.
And this totally explained like the amount of sugar in that glass alone is akin to like 7 bags of M&Ms, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, and we had painkillers. Then they had like Navy grogs. They had all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But then they had a Dole in the painkiller. I think they had Dole Whip in there.
Dole in it, yeah.
Joe just got a freaking Dole Whip. He didn't even get any alcohol in his. He was just like, "Ooh, Dole Whip! I'm getting a Dole Whip here." But yeah. So that was that, and
he did yell fire in the middle of the tiki bar.
Because he said that they were giving him the right energy, as opposed to Friday at the track. So anyways, but yeah, so that basically, what time was that? 10? Maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in there. 10, 11.
Oh, we forgot. We went to Carmine's in
went to Carmine's in New York for dinner. Yeah. Oh yeah, because the tiki reservation was 9:30. So we went to Carmine's in New York, had some great Italian food. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We met a Russian bartender who was giving us all a load of, you know what? She was like, "Where do you think I'm from?" I go, "Where did I say she was from?" Brazil.
Yeah,
and I really like, nothing says Brazil about this woman.
Nothing. So the whitest woman I've ever seen in my life. I know, like with a similar accent to what's her face,
Natasha
Viliov from Dodgeball, and Jason's over here like, "Are you from Brazil?"
Well, she asked, I guess.
From
that was terrible. She's like, "I am not from Brazil." So anyway,
so mad at you.
We ate there, and then so it was probably 11:30 by the time we got back to the hotel. And
that sounds right.
And Jason and I were like, "We're not going to bed yet." Joe had like a 7 a.m. flight, so he was like, "I got to go to bed." We're like, "Well, we're not going to bed." So we went over to Ellis Island. Ellis Island is one of my favorite places to go, and because it's more of a locals place. They've got craft beer, and the tables aren't crazy expensive.
Right.
We were playing like a $10 table, right? Blackjack?
Might have been a $5 table, but we were playing $25 hands. You and I.
It didn't matter. But so we were gambling. We were having fun. I turned $200 into $1,500 pretty quick. You were doing good. We weren't losing. We were having a good time. They kept moving dealers in and out. And you know how it goes when yes, Selena, Ellis Island karaoke is fantastic. It is really good in there. But we looked down at our phones and we're like, "Oh crap, it's like 4:30 now."
Well, no, it wasn't even the phone. I looked at the dealer. I was like, "What time is it?" Like one of the dealers came and I was like, "It's getting late." Like, because I didn't have my phone out, have it at a blackjack table. It's like, "What time is it anyways?" Like, we should probably head back at some point. And the dealer looked at us and goes, "I started at 5." And we went,
"Yeah,
what? You started when?" 5 p.m. They're like, "No, 5 a.m. I just came in here." We're like, "Oh God."
Yeah, it was
not good.
It was like, what the heck? I go, I have a noon flight. And you had a 10 o'clock flight?
A 10:45 flight, yeah.
Yeah, I had a noon flight. And listen, when it comes to that stuff, I really don't mess around. But I was like, all right, well, whatever. All I know is I wake up the next morning. I don't know what time it was, 8 o'clock. And you were throwing things in your bag. You were like, "Yo, you got to get up because the airport's a train wreck."
Because Costello sent a video of him in the airport, and it looked like he was egressing from the Super Bowl after a terrorist attack or something. Everybody is huddled into a corridor like this. They're walking all slow. Yeah. Everybody's super serious. I was like, "What the hell's going on right now?" He's like, "The tram is broken." I'm like, "What tram?" I was on a Southwest. I fly south. I don't fly Southwest much, but I fly Southwest from Burbank to Vegas because it's a 40-minute flight and it's $50 each way, right? So like, there's no tram on the Southwest side, but you guys.
Oh yeah, no. By the time I got there, so rental car line was, I parked my car 45 minutes later. And by the way, I got there around 9:30 ish. 9, maybe 10 o'clock. Anyways, 10 o'clock. I have a noon flight. I go to check my bag. Oh my God, that was a nightmare. It took 45 minutes just to get to the airport. Checking the bag was terrible. And I'm like, as I'm checking my bag, I'm like, I hand the lady my phone to show her the thing. She goes, oh, sir. She puts a priority tag in there. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to have a priority tag because I'm sitting back in 11, whatever, but I'm not going to say anything. I look at my phone. I've been bumped up to 3A. And I'm like, what?
Is that first class on him? I don't speak American.
Yes, it's first class. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I had to go all the way to Charlotte. I was like, This is the best. But so at that point in time, I'm like, all right, I'm not worried about trying to get on the plane right away. We're all good. But I got on that plane and I went to the club and I had one beer and I was so hungover and I was still drunk and I was like, all right, maybe a beer will equalize everything. No. It made me feel 10 times worse. I got on the plane and I slept for a good hour because our plane took off late. I was knocked out. Like nobody was going to wake me up for a good hour and 15. And then I woke up and I ate food that wasn't the greatest. And then I had 3 Bloody Marys and that got me right. I was like, thank you. That got me right, man. I was like, oh, thank you. This is a long flight.
See, I have a 2-hour drive home after I land, so I did not do any of that. I had a miserable flight, 45 minutes, but it was miserable. And then a miserable half a drive home. And I finally stopped at a Starbucks and got a grande latte with 3 ad shots and took 3 Advil. And then it fixed it. Like my headache went away. Like my wife was like, get some caffeine, take some Advil. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take extra of both. And like 20 minutes later, my headache was gone and I was good. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you that my uncle, who's also the CEO of the company that I work for, called me on Tuesday morning. He was like, man, you still down? I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I feel 100% today. I think that we're building back into it. So.
Dude, your wife is so loving to you. That was so nice of her to tell you how to get better. My wife goes, shouldn't have drank so much. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. Why would you do that to yourself? Yeah. I go, oh,
my wife's
God.
a nurse, so that's just like part of her.
Oh, she has that bedside manner. My wife does not.
She does.
But yeah, Vegas was
Charlotte
fun,
next
dude.
Week. Yes, Vegas was fun. Charlotte's next week. We'll do the 4Wides again. I think we're going to come to you next week from a hotel room in Bristol, Tennessee, because I got to fly in on Tuesday to Bristol to do the through Charlotte to do the World Series of Pro Mod CBS broadcast. We're filming that next week. So for those of you World Series of Pro Mod fans wondering where that show has been, I'm doing it with Ted Jones, and there's been some personal matters there that have pushed that back a little bit, but we're filming it or taping it next week, I should say.
Nice.
The tape is actually ready to go, and Joe Costello will be featured prominently in it, I'm sure, as he's the pit reporter, and then I will drive to Charlotte Thursday afternoon, and so I'll probably be coming to you from a hotel room in Johnson City, Tennessee next week.
Are we going to have our guest on? Or are we going to shoot to have him on next week?
I think so. I think I'm going to talk to said guest. We'll keep that a secret for now. It's not Tony Stewart. No, Courtney Enders beat everybody, and so now Tony's on my blacklist for at least 1 week. But yeah,
It should be a fun show next week.
Yeah, let me talk what his schedule is next week.
Yeah,
because there's travel in there, you know.
Yeah, and we may have to tape it. Who knows? We'll figure out life. But yeah, but everything should be good. Charlotte should be fun. Again, night race on Friday night, early on Saturday, and then we run the 4-wide finals on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday. I'm seeing a lot of hashtag. Is DHR coming to Charlotte? Is that? I know Parks will be there because he's got to check air pressure on DJ's funny car for him, but. Yeah, well, they should be there, hopefully. Listen, if you're going to be there, reach out to us. Tell us you're going to be there, and we'll come see you. I know the Top End Club or whatever the Top End somebody, they always have a barbecue on Saturday night, so that's always fun. Charlotte's a good track to hang out at after the race. Good times. Hey, they're going to be there. Yes. Got a place to go hang out. I dig it. Beautiful. I dig it. All righty. Well, very good, Jason. Well, again, I'm glad we're all recovered. We're all up and running. You got any big plans this weekend? My son's first T-ball game Saturday morning.
And I'm breaking news to my wife, who I think is out in the living room right now and doesn't know this, but I have volunteered today to be the assistant coach on the team. So I'm very excited about that.
Listen, as a father of sons and a father of a kid who played baseball, all my other kids played soccer. One ran track and cross country when they got to high school. T-ball is fun. Wait till they get good and start playing baseball, and you're out on a Tuesday night till, from 7 to 11:30, 12 o'clock, yelling and screaming at other parents and the umpire. That's when it gets really fun.
I'm looking forward to that day, but I'm also not in a hurry to get there. But you get that. So.
Yeah. I gotta go back to Bradenton this weekend. My kid's playing he's playing in a soccer tournament. So just another long again.
Go to the wall of beer while you're there.
Oh yeah, get a Bud Light like I did last time. Listen, Jason, I tell all
10-second story. We're in Bradenton for the World Series of Pro Mod. We go to this bitchin' restaurant bar deal Saturday night. They have a wall of beer. There's like 300 beers from all over the place. And you walk up with a glass and you pour your own beer. Jason Logan walks up to the 300 beer wall and goes to Bud Light and pours it. This was far before Bud Light was or wasn't cool. He walked back over and I went, Did you really just order a Bud Light? You could have got that from the bartender. Like, you paid extra for the glass deal so that you could go pour it's like, I wanted to pour my own Light. It literally contradicts the point of the bartender.
It's the best. I love myself. It's so awesome. Listen, I tell all my parents this. Let's go back to your kid playing baseball. Pray that your son is not good at baseball or any sport, because the older he gets, the more expensive this thing gets.
That's what I hear.
The amount of money I have spent on my child playing soccer this past year, there's no way on God's green earth the NHL can even come close to paying me back for what it is. It's unbelievable.
J-Lo, he wants a race car and he's 4. I think I'm already screwed. So.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
Because he sees your race car.
Yeah. Yep. We're done.
Dunsies. Yeah. Well,
Dunsies.
At least you don't have to go sit at a track or a baseball field all the time. You can go to a racetrack and go have fun doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Junior dragsters, get him in a junior car soon. That'll be fun.
I'm going to. I want to put in one of those new Toyota cars.
Oh, that thing's awesome. I love it.
It is.
All right, he can be good at that.
Let's get Charlotte, J-Lo.
All right, brother. Jason Galvin, you're the best. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all had a great time today. And thanks for coming on our show and watching. And again, we're going to have more time and more fun throughout the rest of the race season. So enjoy yourself. Have a great week. And hopefully we'll see you guys in Charlotte.